What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Stag Voiceover. My name is Neil Glasgow. So, in today's video, we're going to talk about getting blacklisted. Ooh. Don't know why I did that. Let's get into it. Okay, so the reason I'm making this video is I received a comment, and I am not critiquing the comment one way or the other. This is the comment. And what I said to Mr. De Villers is, and I hope I pronounced that correctly, is that is absolutely his prerogative. If he doesn't want to work with people and blacklist people who are on Fiverr, entirely down to him. That's not up for contestation. That is how he likes to work. However, it did make me want to readdress a couple of the things that I suppose are out in the market at the moment about getting blacklisted, especially for using particular sites. And predominantly this is Fiverr, right? So I've talked about this in Fiverr before, and it's always around, should you be on it? And the perception in the market is essentially Fiverr devalues the market. So why would you come to me and get a job done and be charged £300 where you could go to Fiverr and get the same job done for a fiver? Now, the reality is, and this is the reality, you can get some work done for a fiver. And ultimately, if you listen to someone's work and, well, it's £5 worth of work, you're going to pay a fiver. If you come to my Fiverr profile, for example, I might have a gig on there that says, whatever, 5 words for a fiver, something like that. But by the time that you go through and you add on WAV files and deliveries and all, that fiver balloons to £300. That's kind of how I make my money on Fiverr, and how a lot of people make their money on Fiverr, or Upwork, or any other freelance site. Now, there is this perception in the market that essentially says the only way to do things is the only way it's ever been done. And that's by getting an agent, having an amazing demo, going to these studios, cutting a great demo for thousands of pounds and marketing it out to various studios or whatever it is, and that's how you make your money. You don't go to the freelance sites. And I've always had a bit of a problem with that. And this is my personal opinion, okay? But I have said in videos before, particularly around, as I say, Fiverr and other freelance websites, if you're just starting out, how can I, in good conscience, tell you that there is money to be made out there, that you can make money to pay your bills, to develop yourself in voiceover, but you shouldn't do that because that's not what I think you should do. Or you can't go and do that because someone who you've never met, who isn't paying your bills, doesn't think you should do that. I can. I can't do that in good conscience. And I don't know how anybody else can. And when you look at what those platforms were when they started out, they were a complete paradigm shift to what the industry has been used to. And with anything new comes a little bit of fear and adaptation. That's the big thing around this. The industry has to adapt to platforms like voices.com. That was a paradigm shift. You have to look at, Voice 123 or Badalgo, whatever it is, where you're not having to go through an agent to get your work, where you're not having to go to a studio to get your work, when you can have a booth and work from home and be very good and successful working from home without having to pay all those fees. It's that paradigm shift. And getting blacklisted is one of those boogeymen things that the industry really touts around the place. Now, let me clarify this. If you are of a caliber where you are a known brand, you're a name, if you're known north, right? If you're Troy Baker and you get blacklisted, that will be a big deal because you are a known, Hollywood name, okay? If you're Mel Gibson gets blacklisted because of, whatever Mel Gibson did this week, blacklisted, I can understand that as a fear because that means that studios aren't willing to take a gamble on you, okay? If you are someone like myself, moderately successful, makes a fair amount of money, my name isn't the thing that people are buying. It's my sound, okay? And I am aware of exactly one time that I have been blacklisted in my entire career. And it is by Mr. DeVillers. And I only know this because I'm on Fiverr. I've made a video on Fiverr. He commented on that and he's let his views be known. And again, those views are absolutely valid. I'm not contesting them. I've said to him as well, I responded to it. I gave it a thumbs up and a heart. And I said to him, that is absolutely his prerogative. Not up for debate, okay? And this isn't a video to say he's absolutely wrong or anyone with that opinion is wrong. This is a video to let you know, if you're getting into the market, if there are opportunities for you to make money on whatever platform that is. Why are you concerned about someone who you've never potentially heard of before, blacklisting you on their network? If studios are out there, and believe me, they're not, trolling through the tens of thousands of profiles that are on Fiverr, Upwork, Freelancer, or Voices, or whatever it is, whatever their criteria is to say, well, I'm never going to work for that person. Imagine the man hours and time that take to just crawl through all of those pages to find a name to go, nope, not on my list. I mean, they sound good, not on my list. It's not going to happen, right? And on the flip side, if they hear your demo and they go, do you know what, I'm going to do a quick thing, and then decide that they don't want to work with you, fine, that's their prerogative. That is a little bit like cutting your nose off to spite your own face. You've heard someone that you like and you're wondering if you can get it cheaper. And if you could get it cheaper, engaging someone through one of those platforms, that's maybe a discussion for another day. But to blacklist someone, it's kind of one of those empty threats, in my opinion, because I've been on all the platforms. I started out not on the platforms and, I've made money on the platforms because ultimately I'm self-employed and I need to make this money. And I couldn't say to you that there's any big organisation out there that I've ever dealt with that have warned me, that have come to me and said, look, we're letting you know that we're aware that you're on there. And if you continue, never happened. I work with the BBC. I work with Bauer Media. I've worked with Disney and Coca-Cola. And guess where I am on all of those platforms? I have agents all over the world. I have had one agent say to me, please don't be on voices.com or anything like that. And not because I'll get blacklisted, because it's a direct competition to what they do. And I completely understand that. But to have that market, and rather to have that message in the market that if you're on one of these platforms, you better have a pseudonym, you better not be found out, you better not be doing the things that Mr. Mrs. person you've never heard of doesn't want you to do. Screw them. It's not for them to dictate to you where you can make your money. And I have always said, every single video, you can be a voiceover artist. But if you can't access the market the way that they want you to, well, what are your options? Try, flounder, not be able to succeed, or make a little bit or a lot of money using any of these platforms and developing yourself, earning an income and earning a living so that you can be a professional voiceover artist. And that's it. That's the advice for this week. Don't listen to them. Don't listen to anyone. Don't listen to me. Doesn't really matter. The only person, the only opinion that matters to your career is you. Are you comfortable with doing what it is you're doing? Brilliant. Are you on the platforms that you feel comfortable working on? Brilliant. If you're on any platform you're not comfortable on, get off it. But do not worry about people you've never heard of saying to you, well, you're now blacklisted. If you're on that, you're blacklisted. Blacklisted is the boogeyman, as I've said. I've never had it come up. And that's not to say it doesn't come up. I realise that. But as a voiceover artist who's not, on TV, on animation or whatever, all day long, I'm not a known brand. It's not a big concern. If you get to those levels, if you get to the Nolan Norths and the Troy Bakers and anyone else that's out there that's a famous, known name that people actually tune in to listen to that voice, Danny DeVito on a cartoon, I'd watch it. But if he got blacklisted because of something, yeah, that would be news. It's not news for you. So if you liked my rant and rambling there and a little bit of support, drop the video a like, share and subscribe. And remember, you can be a blacklisted or not voiceover artist. I'll see you in the next video.